I'm making dinner, but I had to make a video to tell you guys about this video that I saw. So there's a story in Scotland about a woman who pretended, sorry, I'm a little angry right now. But there's a story in Scotland about a woman who pretended she was pregnant and then used a silicone doll to pretend to be the baby. And after a few days or weeks or whatever, she said the baby died. Okay, so Scandal is the channel that I'm watching. And it says, Shiloh, stop! Hold on one second, guys. Anyway, so the channel is called Scandal, and it's by Law and Crime or whatever. And it says, unhinged woman fakes pregnancy with plastic doll and claims baby died. Okay, that's the title of the video. So if you want to watch it, I would suggest that all of you watch it and comment, because this is just outrageous. So basically what happened was this woman in Scotland pretended she was pregnant. During her pregnancy, she used like a fake silicone belly or whatever. And then she claimed that the baby had been diagnosed in utero with like a heart defect. That was probably her way of like having the baby die later or something. So anyway, so this story, they're covering this story, which I don't have any problem with that. I'm not angry that they're covering the story. But what I am angry about is they make several comments during this video that directly insults and stigmatizes reborn doll collectors, not this woman. So let me point out that this woman is not a reborn doll collector, okay? This is not part of our community. This is just a selfish young woman who lied to keep a boyfriend, and it backfired. That's all it is, okay? This is not someone in our community. Her name is Kira Cousins. This is not someone who collects dolls or has anything to do with dolls. She just bought this doll. And by the way, let me point out that it was a knockoff silicone. It wasn't even a real silicone, so it didn't even look convincing. They keep talking about how she spent a fortune on this doll. We all know that knockoff silicones can be bought off Amazon for less than $100 or around $100. So this was not where she spent a fortune on this doll. It was a knockoff Chinese silicone. It was cheap. It didn't have much painting. It didn't look real. So, yeah. But my problem with this video is that she brings this legal expert, and I'm going to show you that person, this lady here, on. And the lady talks about how she has just been tortured by reborns because her friend who has kids, the kids have reborn dolls. And it just creeps her out, and it's so traumatizing to her. And by the way, these are also knockoffs. She talks about how they spent a fortune on these dolls. The picture that she shows of the kids with the dolls, they're knockoff dolls. They're not real reborns. They're not legitimate reborns. And so nobody is spending a fortune on knockoff reborn dolls. See, what these channels do is they don't know the difference between a knockoff and a real reborn. And so then they go and look on legitimate reborn sites and see that these dolls are like, you know, regular like vinyl reborns are up to like $2,000 or more. And that the silicones can be up to $10,000. Now, they don't say that the average silicone is $2,000 to $3,000. They say that it's $10,000. So they say that she must, and really there's only been a couple of silicones that have ever sold at that price. So that's just absolutely ridiculous. That's the first thing. Anybody who's buying knockoff dolls is not spending a fortune on these reborn dolls, number one. Number two, she says that, you know, she made a comment, something to the effect of, well, you know, these women are really mentally ill. They get together for play dates with their dolls. That's what the world is coming to. This puts a stigma and a negative spin on us. And we didn't do anything wrong. We're not the people who lied about being pregnant. We're not the people who lied about having a baby. We're not the people who lied to our family and friends about a baby dying. We don't do shit like that. So I think it's really offensive that this is yet another, people are using this as another like reason to stigmatize and put a negative spin on reborn doll collectors. Like the lady that did this was not a reborn doll collector. She is not part of our community. Okay, so to lump all of us in with her behavior is not only wrong, it's offensive. Because I have never faked a pregnancy and I've never faked a baby dying, okay? And I've never pretended that one of my dolls was a real baby and tricked people into thinking that. Now, there are times if we take a baby out, and I don't hardly ever take mine out, but I've heard people say this, that there are times when somebody will say, how old is your baby? Or your baby's so cute. And to avoid confrontation, we just say thank you and move on. That's a very different thing from like faking a whole pregnancy for 9 months and then convincing your family that this doll is real. Like, it's one thing if you know it's a doll and everybody around you knows that you collect dolls. It's totally separate thing to do this just so that you can fake a pregnancy. So I find it incredibly offensive for her, first of all, to talk about how creepy and mentally ill reborn doll collectors are. Because when we have play dates, it's not so that the babies can play. It's so that the adults can hang out. We just call it a play date. It's not real. It's an adult play date. You know, we don't sit there and act out with the babies during a play date and like they're playing with blocks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we just go and hang out with our friends. We just happen to call it a play date. And we are not what's wrong with society. For her to say they have these play dates, this is what the world is coming to, is like really insulting and offensive. I just want to put this out there because this channel scandal is being completely unfair to reborn doll collectors. None of us faked a pregnancy. None of us tricked our family and friends into thinking we gave birth to a baby. And none of us broke their hearts by saying that that baby died. None of us did that. So to blame this on us or to bring us into the conversation at all is wrong. Okay, because we haven't done anything. We don't act like this. Yes, there are people in the world who use their reborns and they act like they're real, but they're very few and far between. Come on, you guys know the reborn community, and you know darn well that that doesn't happen very often. All of us know that they are dolls. All of us know that they're not real, and we don't act like they are. It's a collection. It's fun. It's a hobby. But to lump us in with this lady's behavior, it's not only wrong, but it further stigmatizes the reborn community. Now you have people making comments on this video like, well, you know, what do you expect from these nut jobs who pretend their babies are real? Like, it just makes us look worse, you know, and we haven't done anything wrong. This was the actions of one immature, selfish, deceitful, dishonest woman. And her reactions, and I love the fact that halfway through the video, they're calling us mentally ill and saying that we're what's wrong with society. And then they turn around in the very next breath and start giving her, the lady who actually did this, excuses for her behavior. We're what's wrong with society and we're mentally ill, but maybe she really was pregnant and lost the baby, so it's her hormones that made her do this. No. How many millions of women have gone through miscarriages or have had a baby and don't do stuff like this? This is not about us. And for them to bring us into it and then turn around and give her excuses for her behavior, it's like they only use this for an opportunity to smash us. And that's completely wrong because we didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. And there's no reason we should have been brought into this at all because she is not a reborn doll collector. She has no connection to the reborn doll community at all. I've never seen her name. And I even searched on Facebook. I've never seen her name associated with the reborn doll community. Not once. So to say that we are the cause of this or that this is what we do, that's complete BS. I'm sorry that this makes me so upset, but it does. To take the behavior of one selfish, immature, deceitful woman and turn it around and say, these reborn doll collectors, that's what's wrong with society. No, that's BS because we are not what's wrong with society. We don't act like this. That's just not how it happens. So I think it's really offensive and really foul for them to turn around and put this on us and say that we are the cause of all societal problems and that we are the reason she did this. No, we are not the reason she did this. She did this because she wanted to trick her boyfriend. She wanted to get attention. She wanted to do all this other stuff, and it had nothing to do with any of us. And for them to turn it around, that we shouldn't even been brought into the conversation. If they had actually been good journalists and done their homework, they would have realized that she is not a reborn doll collector and has nothing to do with our community. So I'm sorry, but I just find this incredibly offensive that this is just another opportunity for people to bash reborn doll collectors. I've never lied about being pregnant. I've never faked giving birth. I've never faked a baby's death. I have done nothing wrong, so I should not be blamed for this lady's foul and offensive behavior. But they just use this. That's what they do. They use this as an opportunity to smash the reborn community yet again. I'm sorry. I find this incredibly offensive because everybody looks for every reason to blame us for everything that happens, and it's BS. None of us had anything to do with this. So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to show you the title of the video. If you have a chance, go watch the video. You don't even have to watch the whole video because it's basically like, it's ridiculous. It's junk journalism is what it is. It's not even like a good piece. But comment on it and defend us, because people need to understand that we have nothing to do with this lady and that it's unfair for them to blame us for this lady's behavior. But here's the name, here's the title of the video. You can pause it and zoom in. And it's by Scandal, which is, the Scandal is a sub-channel of law and crime. And this lady here, this legal expert, she's incredibly offensive. She's the one, who makes the comments about how she's tormented by her friend's kids' reborn dolls. Which I think is just, if I was her friend, that I wouldn't be her friend for long, that's for sure. Talking about my kids and stuff that way, no, I wouldn't. How it's traumatizing her and torturing her, and it's just the thorn in her life, these kids' dolls. Like, give me a freaking break, come on. Again, it's just another reason to dump on reborn doll collectors, and I think it's unfair and it's wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't have anything to do with this lady and her deceit, and we should not be taking the rap for it. So I just wanted to point that out. I'll do another video later with my dolls, but I just wanted to tell you guys, go to this video, report it for, give it the thumbs down, report it for being hateful and unreasonable, because it is. And then absolutely leave a comment if you can. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, ladybugs.